Howdy. Welcome to First Impressions, where we take a look at an album we've never heard before and give our immediate reactions. Today we're taking a look at Megan, Act 2 by Megan Thee Stallion, released in 2024. The continuation of Megan, released back in June. This is one that I definitely had to check out for completion purposes, if nothing else. And I'm glad that I did because this was a good one. I'm gonna give my thoughts about the first act once we get to the end, but for now, let's get into it. This is Megan, Act 2. Kicking things off with Bigger in Texas. This is how you start off an album right here. There's probably like 2 seconds of instrumental right before Meg starts, and with her energy, she doesn't stop throughout the entire record. She brings so much to these tracks. She's like prime Kurt Angle, man. She is just non-stop. I love the way that she uses triplets. She really chops up her flow very well, and with beats like this, it can only compliment her. There's this one line where she's saying that hoes are treating these dudes like a last meal on death row, so, you know, pretty important. But Meg's just picking them off like a charcuterie board. After Bigger in Texas, we have Bourbon, and as I was mentioning with the triplets on her flow, there's a lot of that in this one as well. Speaking of that flow, it's fucking lethal on here. She is going off like crazy. My favorite line, without a doubt, is how she's saying these bitches are fake hard like a strap-ons. Yeah, she is ruthless on this album. You can tell that somebody just pissed her the fuck off, and she's laying this shit down with some anger. After Bourbon, we have Number One Rule. We're gonna skip Number One Rule for right now, but don't worry, we'll come back to it. But for right now, we got Rocksteady featuring Flo Milli. Once this song kicks in, I was like, I know that beat. I've heard that somewhere. It's Goodies by Sierra. And when it comes to cadence, I really like what Flo is doing. I haven't checked too much of her in the past, but I'm definitely going to be taking a look at her in the future. I really like this. Whenever she has features on her album, they always represent them in the best ways. I remember with Traumazine, I had never taken a listen to Rico Nasty or Lotto before, but once I heard them on some tracks, I just had to take a listen. Lotto does her thing. I think it was 777 that I listened to, both parts. But Rico is the one that stole my heart. I heard with the track that she was on, I said, I gotta check her album. I just gotta do it. And I think it was Nasty, her debut in 2018 that I'd take a listen to. Man, I fucking dig that album right now. I don't know how tight Rico and Meg are these days, but they gotta get back on a track together, man. I'm just waiting for that. But yeah, Rocksteady. Not much more needs to be said. This shit just goes hard. After Rocksteady, we have Best Friend. The song's hot as hell. It's hot as hell. It's a salacious ass beat, let me tell you. That's the thing I like the most about Meg. It doesn't matter if the beat is slowed down and chilled out like this one, or if it's, you know, just going crazy like what we hear on most of these tracks. Her flow is just consistent, and you always know what you're gonna get with her. She never lets you down. And then you got good choruses like on this one. I'm just saying, this is a great ass song. This is going on a couple of playlists of mine for sure. After Best Friend, we have Right Now, and with Right Now, it's a tough-ass beat, but that chorus, man. The chorus is just diabolical. She's talking shit about one dude, how he thinks his little shit is tough. He's nutting her, saying, I love you in her ear. Which just like, man, that sucks to be talked about that way, but if I'm the dude, that's a bucket. I don't care. After Right Now, we have Mamushi, the remix, featuring Twice. I don't think I really need to talk too long about this one. Y'all know how the track goes. It was just a big hit this summer. The only difference between this and the song that's on Act 1 is just the feature. It changes. On the first iteration of this song, you have Yuki Chiba. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he is on the track initially. That's the one that you usually hear whenever it comes to like TikTok trends and whatnot. But on this one, you have Twice. And besides any lyrical differences, that's the biggest change whenever it comes to this song. After that, we got TYG featuring Spirit Box. This song is heavy as shit, let me tell you. I had never fucked with Spirit Box before. This is my first exposure to them. You got Spirit Box doing their thing in the first half. I don't know who their lead singer is, but she's carrying herself very well on this track. And then once Meg comes in, you know, the way that she always does, you add this heavy ass shit to it. Man, I was just smitten the first time I heard this track. TYG, this is one I'm definitely going to be coming back to. I wouldn't be surprised if there's been a couple of covers of this song so far because it's some good shit. After that, we have Motion, which is alright. I wasn't really feeling it all that much. But now we're going to talk about Number One Rule. First off, the bass just slaps on this track. No pun intended. I know there's a feature on here, I forgot who it was specifically, but man, I'm gonna have to get some more of that. The thing with Number One Rule is that Meg is preaching about how girls don't need to be chasing dick, dick needs to be chasing pussy, which is, you know, fair, that's the case. Me personally, I don't care who you are. You don't ever need to be chasing. It's cool to be casting out some lines, but just don't lose your shit when you get a couple of bites, you know? But there's a reason why I want to mention this song is because of that lyrical content, the overall theme. It's just like, you don't need to go chasing after a man. He gonna come to you, all right? But then later on in the album, we get to like the 9th or 10th song, and this one is called Fell in Love. Meg is talking about how she's almost just in love with this dude, and I just couldn't help. I was like, but Meg, the rule we just established, that's not what we need to do. She's really hyping up this dude, you know, fucks well, has a nice place and all that shit. Not one time does she mention this man's personality. It's a damn shame. But shit, I imagine that most dudes are gonna be taking that deal. Like, you get Megan Thee Stallion, but like maybe she won't watch your Instagram stories every day. Like, bitch, do I look like an architect to you? I can give a damn about some stories. Like, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up? Fuck, I'm gonna sign twice, just in case. So yeah, just my hyper ass brain. Once this song came on, I was just like, well, that's a little contradictory, don't you think? But it doesn't stop there, because right after that, we have He Think I Love Him. But at least that's what I thought. The lyrics on here is just, they don't really cater to the song title, I guess. She's not really saying that, oh, this dude really thinks I'm in love with him and stuff like that. Like, it's not that point blank. Either way, you know, I'm having fun with this, but the wordplay on this song is cold, and the beat really helps it as well.
You a fuck with a trust, say. Number one, I can't beef with no fan page. Number one, who it is, what your man say. Cat on his ass, I ain't talking no Cartier. Bitches bubbling up.
After He Think I Love Him, we got Like a Freak. Goddamn, I knew that shit instantly. We got a little G6 sampling going on here. She tears this shit up. I mentioned whenever the beat chills out, she still has her consistent flow, but whenever stuff picks up the pace like this, that's whenever she just shines for me. Just fucking just keeps on going, don't stop. Like a Freak, man, I can't speak enough about this. It's short and sweet too. I think it's only a minute and a half or something like that. A lot of these songs are very quick and very to the point. I don't think there's a track on here that even crosses the 3-minute mark. After Like a Freak, we have our closer, Never Play, featuring RM of BTS. This track is really all about RM because I didn't know what to expect whenever I saw that he was a feature on this song. I just saw BTS and I kind of had an idea, and I wasn't expecting this. This boy's voice is deep as shit. It's intriguing. This shit was hard. I don't know if BTS has some like rap shit on the side, but they should probably start looking into that. And that was Megan Act 2, a 13-long song album with a 30-minute runtime. That is approximate because if you go on Spotify, Act 2 is actually combined with Act 1, so I think altogether it's like 30 songs and an hour and a half. But that's the thing with Act 1. I was a little bit underwhelmed with Act 1 whenever I heard it the first time back in June. But with Act 2, I don't know if it's because the songs were more concise, but this shit slapped like pretty much on every track. The only thing that I'm like kind of expecting if there is an Act 3 or just with the next album in general, I really would like to hear some more deeper lyrics, for lack of a better word. Because a lot of this is her shit talking, and she does it well. You know, she's really hyping herself up, all for good reason. But when I think of Traumazine, stuff like Anxiety and Bad Day, that's whenever I was like getting really interested in her songwriting. She writes all of her shit. If you ever seen her freestyle, you know just how lethal this woman can be. So whenever I hear her go more in depth with her lyrics, I just feel like there's something there that's just waiting to come out. So I definitely have some high expectations whenever it comes to the next album. But for right now, Act 2 is going to hold you over pretty well. This is a good one. So let me know what y'all think, if you have heard it or not, and give me any and all recommendations on what we should do next. We'll see you next time, and stay tuned.